Jake Morrison stood in the hot sun and wished he was back on Earth. The alien city around him was beautiful, but he missed home. Tall crystal towers reached into the purple sky. Strange music filled the air. Thanks for watching. And of them pro clown. And of them pro clown. And something this boss. Kristen's time. Thousands of aliens lined the streets, all waiting to see their princess. He was a security guard, nothing more. The pay was good, and someone had to protect the Earth delegation. Jake had been a Marine once. Now he worked as a contractor, taking jobs across the galaxy. This job seemed easy enough. Stand around, look tough, and make sure nobody bothered the diplomats. The Valyrians were an impressive species. They stood 7 feet tall with silver skin and large dark eyes. Their technology was centuries ahead of Earth's. Humanity needed them as friends. That was why Earth had sent diplomats to this grand summit. Jake checked his earpiece. Lieutenant Amy Harris spoke through it. Morrison, stay alert. The crowd is getting thick. Copy that, Jake said. He scanned the rooftops out of habit. Old Marine training never left you. The parade was starting. Jake could hear the drums and horns. The princess would be coming down the main street soon. He had seen her picture in the briefing files. Princess Kira was young, maybe 19 by human standards. She was the only child of Queen Zalara, the ruler of 12 star systems. Commander Ben Walsh, the captain of their ship, stood nearby with the other diplomats. They all wore their best uniforms. This was humanity's big moment. First contact with a major power. Jake just hoped nothing went wrong. The royal procession appeared around the corner. Guards in golden armor marched in perfect formation. Behind them came a floating platform, carrying Princess Kira. She wore a white gown that seemed to glow. Her silver skin caught the sunlight. She looked nervous, Jake thought. Her hands were clasped tight in her lap. The crowd cheered. Thousands of voices rose as one. The princess smiled and waved, but Jake could see the tension in her shoulders. Being royalty looked exhausting. Then Jake saw it. A glint of light from a rooftop. His enhanced eyes caught the movement. Someone was aiming a weapon at the princess. Time seemed to slow down. His military augmentations kicked in. His brain processed information faster than normal humans could. Jake did not think. He just moved. His legs pushed him forward. He ran faster than he had ever run before. The guards were too slow. They had not seen the danger yet. Jake jumped over the barrier between the street and the platform. The energy blast fired. A bright beam of light cut through the air. It was aimed right at Princess Kira's chest. Jake threw himself in front of her. His body slammed into hers, pushing her down onto the platform. The energy blast hit him square in the back. Pain exploded through Jake's body. It felt like being hit by lightning and fire at the same time. His armor melted. The blast burned through to his skin. He could smell his own flesh burning, but he stayed on top of the princess, shielding her with his body. Screams filled the air. The guards finally reacted. They raised their shields and surrounded the platform. More energy blasts came from the rooftop, but the guards blocked them. Jake heard shouting and the sound of weapons firing. His vision was going dark. Princess Kira was underneath him. Her eyes were wide with shock. She was saying something, but Jake could not hear her. His ears were ringing. Everything hurt. He tried to stay conscious, but his body was failing. "Stay with me," Princess Kira said. Her voice finally reached him. "Please stay with me." Jake wanted to tell her she was safe now. He wanted to say it was his job, but the words would not come. His enhanced healing was already trying to work, but the damage was too severe. He felt hands grabbing him. The guards were pulling him away from the princess. The last thing Jake saw was Princess Kira's face. She was covered in his blood, but she was alive. That was good enough. His eyes closed. Jake woke up several times over the next few hours. Each time was brief and confusing. He saw bright lights. He heard alien voices speaking in a language he did not understand. Machines beeped around him. Hands touched his wounds. The pain came in waves. Once, he saw a face he recognized. Queen Zilara stood over him. Her expression was strange. Aliens were hard to read, but she looked shocked, maybe even grateful. Then, the darkness took him again. When Jake finally woke up properly, he was in a bed. The room was huge and decorated with expensive things. Sunlight came through tall windows. He could see the crystal towers of the city outside. His back felt stiff and sore, but the burning pain was gone. A young Valyrian woman sat in a chair beside his bed. Princess Kira. She looked tired. Her eyes had dark circles under them. When she saw him wake up, she stood up quickly. "You are awake," she said in perfect English. "Thank the ancestors. You have been unconscious for 3 days." Jake tried to sit up, but his body protested. Princess Kira gently pushed him back down. "Do not move too fast," she said. "You were badly hurt. The doctors said you should have died. They do not understand how you survived." Jake managed to speak. His voice was rough. "Are you okay?" Princess Kira looked at him with an expression he could not read. Then she did something that surprised him. She started to cry. Tears ran down her silver cheeks. "You saved my life," she said. "You do not even know me, and you took that blast for me." Why? Jake thought about it. Why had he done it? It was his job, sure, but it was more than that. Someone had to, he said simply. Princess Kira wiped her tears away. "My mother wants to see you when you are stronger. She has declared a life debt. Do you know what that means?" Jake shook his head. He did not know much about Valyrian culture. "It means your life belongs to us now," Princess Kira said softly. Jake stared at Princess Kira. "I cannot leave? What do you mean?" Jake stared at Princess Kira. To date Lord D. I cannot leave." The princess sat down again. She looked uncomfortable. "In our culture, when someone saves your life, a debt is created. The saved person owes everything to the one who saved them. But my mother, the queen, has reversed it. She says our family owes you a debt. Until that debt is repaid, you must stay under our protection." "That sounds like being a prisoner," Jake said. "It is not like that," Princess Kira said quickly. "You will have rooms in the palace. You will be treated with great honor. But yes, you cannot leave Valyria Prime until the debt is satisfied." Jake closed his eyes. This was not good. He had a life back on Earth. He had an apartment in New York. He had friends. He had plans. How long does it take to satisfy this debt? Princess Kira looked away. "It depends. Sometimes months. Sometimes years. Sometimes a lifetime." "A lifetime?" Jake sat up despite the pain. "You have got to be kidding me." "I am sorry," the princess said. She really did look sorry. "My mother makes the rules, and she is very grateful. She will not change her mind." Over the next week, Jake learned just how serious Queen Zilara was. Lieutenant Amy Harris came to visit him. She brought Commander Ben Walsh with her. They both looked worried. "We have been trying to negotiate your release," Amy said. She sat on the edge of his bed. "The Queen will not budge. She says you are under royal protection now." "Can Earth do anything?" Jake asked. Commander Walsh shook his head. "If we push too hard, we might insult them. The diplomatic mission could fail. We need this alliance, Jake." "I am sorry." Jake understood. One human life was not worth destroying relations between two civilizations. "So, I am stuck here. We will keep trying," Amy promised. "But it might take time." After they left, Princess Kira came back. She had been visiting Jake every day. At first, Jake thought it was out of guilt, but she seemed genuinely interested in talking to him. She asked hundreds of questions about Earth and human culture. "What is your favorite food?" she asked one day. "Pizza," Jake said. "You cannot get good pizza anywhere in space." "What is pizza?" Jake spent 20 minutes trying to explain pizza. Princess Kira listened to every word. She seemed fascinated by the smallest details of human life. Jake realized she had probably never had a real conversation with someone before. Everyone around her was a servant or advisor. They all treated her like a piece of glass that might break. Jake did not treat her that way. Maybe it was because he was human. Maybe it was because he had nearly died. But he talked to her like she was a normal person. "Do you ever get to just relax?" Jake asked her. "Like, go for a walk without guards? Or visit a market? Or do something fun?" Princess Kira laughed. It was a sad sound. "No. I am the heir to the throne. My life is scheduled every minute of every day. I have duties, lessons, ceremonies. I have never been to a market. I have never walked anywhere without guards." "That sounds terrible," Jake said honestly. "It is my purpose," Princess Kira said. But she did not sound happy about it. After 2 weeks, Jake was strong enough to walk. The doctors were amazed by his recovery. They kept running tests on him. Valyrian bodies did not heal as fast as humans did. They wanted to understand how his enhanced biology worked. Jake was given rooms in the royal wing of the palace. They were huge and fancy. Gold decorations covered everything. The bed was big enough for 5 people. He had his own bathroom with a pool instead of a shower. There was even a balcony with a view of the whole city. It was a beautiful prison. Queen Zalara finally summoned him when he was fully recovered. Jake walked into the throne room with his heart pounding. The queen sat on a crystal throne that seemed to float in the air. She was even more impressive in person than in pictures. Power radiated from her. "Jake Morrison," the queen said. Her voice was deep and commanding. "You saved my daughter's life. For this, you have my eternal gratitude." "I was just doing my job, Your Majesty," Jake said. "No," Queen Zalara said firmly. "The guards were doing their job. They failed. You acted on instinct. You threw yourself into danger without hesitation. This is not common, even among my own people." A tall Valyrian man stood beside the throne. He had a stern face and wore expensive robes. "The human was lucky," the man said. "Any soldier would have done the same." "High Chancellor Vorin." "You are wrong," the queen said coldly. "The guards did not see the danger. This human did. His eyes are enhanced, yes. But it was his choice to act. His choice to sacrifice himself." Jake did not like Chancellor Vorin. The man looked at Jake like he was an insect. "You will stay in the palace," Queen Zalara continued. "You will be given access to most areas. You will dine with the royal family. You will be treated as an honored guest. In return, I ask that you help train my guards. Show them human fighting techniques. Teach them to think like you do." "And if I refuse?" Jake asked. He knew it was dangerous to question a queen, but he had to know. Queen Zalara smiled. It was not a warm smile. "Then you will stay in your rooms. Comfortable, but confined. The choice is yours, Jake Morrison. Freedom within the palace, or isolation. Either way, you stay until the debt is satisfied." Jake realized he had no real choice. "Excellent," the queen said. "You may go." As Jake left, he passed Princess Kira in the hallway. "I am your family's new pet human," Jake said bitterly. Princess Kira flinched. "It is not like that, is it not?" Jake stopped walking. "I cannot leave. I have to do what your mother says. I have no freedom. What else would you call it?" "My mother is protecting you," Princess Kira said. "The rebels who tried to kill me are still out there. If you left the palace, they might come after you too. So this is for my own safety?" Jake did not believe it. "Partly," Princess Kira admitted. but also because my mother wants to study you. She wants to understand what makes humans different. What makes you so resilient and unpredictable. I am not a science experiment, Jake said. Princess Kira touched his arm. It was the first time she had touched him since that day on the platform. I know. And I am sorry. But please, try to make the best of this. My mother gets what she wants. Always. Fighting her will only make you miserable. Jake looked at the princess. She was trying to help in her own way. Fine. I will train your guards, but I want something in return. What? I want you to come with me sometimes, Jake said. No guards, no schedules, just two people talking. Deal? Princess Kira smiled. It was the first real smile he had seen from her. The training yard was huge. 50 royal guards stood in perfect formation, waiting for Jake. They all wore golden armor and carried energy weapons. Commander Thex, the head of security, stood at the front. He was the biggest Valyrian Jake had seen. 8 feet tall, with muscles like steel. This is the human? Thex asked. He did not sound impressed. He is small. Jake was used to being underestimated. At 6 feet tall, he was short, compared to Valyrians. Size is not everything, he said. Thex laughed. We will see. Show us these human fighting techniques, the queen spoke of. Jake had them start with hand-to-hand combat. The Valyrians fought in a very structured way. Every move was precise and practiced. They followed patterns that had been used for thousands of years. It was effective, but predictable. Attack me, Jake told Thex. The commander moved fast. His fist came at Jake's face in a perfect strike. Jake did not block it the way a Valyrian would. Instead, he ducked under it and swept Thex's legs. The big alien crashed to the ground. The guards gasped. Thex got up slowly. He looked angry. You fight without honor. You used a dirty trick. In a real fight, there is no honor, Jake said. There is only winning and losing, dead and alive. He spent the next hour teaching them to fight dirty. Eye pokes, groin kicks, using the environment as a weapon. The guards hated it at first. It went against everything they had been taught. But slowly, they began to understand. Your enemy will not follow rules, Jake explained. The rebels who attacked Princess Kira did not fight with honor. They shot from hiding. If you want to protect the royal family, you need to think like your enemy. After combat training came endurance tests. Jake challenged the guards to a run around the palace grounds. The Valyrians were strong and fast for short bursts. But humans had evolved for endurance. Jake ran for 2 hours without stopping. One by one, the guards dropped out. Only Commander Thex kept going. When Thex finally stopped, he was breathing hard. How? He asked. You are smaller. You should tire faster. Humans are persistence hunters, Jake explained. Our ancestors chased prey for days until it collapsed from exhaustion. We might not be the strongest or fastest, but we do not quit. Word of the training spread through the palace. Princess Kira came to watch one day. She sat in the shade and observed quietly. Jake noticed her, but tried to focus on his work. After training ended, she approached him. That was impressive, she said. The guards respect you now. Even Thex. And he respects no one. They are good soldiers, Jake said. They just needed to learn to adapt. Princess Kira handed him a water container. Walk with me? They walked through the palace gardens. No guards followed, just as Jake had requested. The gardens were beautiful. Strange alien flowers bloomed in colors Jake had no names for. Water fountains made music as they flowed. Tell me about Earth, Princess Kira said. Not the official stuff from the databases. Tell me what it is really like. Jake talked about New York City. About pizza and hot dogs from street vendors. About the subway system and Central Park. About rain and snow and seasons. Princess Kira listened to everything with wonder in her eyes. "It sounds chaotic," she said, "but in a good way." "It is alive," Jake said. "People make their own choices, for better or worse. Nobody's life is planned out for them from birth." Princess Kira looked sad. "I envy that. My whole life has been decided for me. I will rule after my mother dies. I will marry whoever she chooses for the good of the empire. I will have children to continue the royal line. There is no choice in any of it." "That is no way to live," Jake said. "It is my duty." "Duty is important," Jake agreed. "But so is happiness. What is the point of ruling an empire if you are miserable?" Princess Kira stopped walking. She looked at Jake with an expression he could not quite read. "You are the first person to ever say that to me. Everyone else tells me duty is everything. That my happiness does not matter." "Well, they are wrong," Jake said firmly. Over the next few months, Jake and Princess Kira spent more time together. She would sneak away from her official duties to find him. They would walk in the gardens or sit on his balcony and talk for hours. Jake taught her about human culture. She taught him about Valyrian history and traditions. Jake learned that the Valyrian Empire was in trouble. The rigid traditions that had kept them strong for millennia were now holding them back. Other species were innovating and adapting. The Valyrians were falling behind. Rebel groups were forming, angry at the old ways. The assassination attempt on Princess Kira had been just one of many recent attacks. "My mother knows the empire is dying," Princess Kira said one evening. They sat on Jake's balcony, watching the sunset. "But she does not know how to change it. Change goes against everything we believe in. Maybe that is why she is keeping me here," Jake said. He had been thinking about this a lot. Humans adapt. We change constantly. "Maybe she thinks I can teach you that." "Perhaps," Princess Kira said. She was quiet for a moment. "Jake, can I tell you something?" "Of course. I look forward to seeing you every day," she said softly. "These past months have been the happiest of my life." "Is that strange?" Jake's heart beat faster. He had been trying not to think about his growing feelings for the princess. It was complicated enough being trapped here. Adding emotions made it worse, but he could not deny it anymore. "It is not strange," Jake said. "I feel the same way." Princess Kira looked at him. In the fading light, her silver skin seemed to glow. "What does that mean for us?" One. "I do not know," Jake admitted. "You are a princess. I am a human contractor. Your mother is keeping me here like a prisoner. This is all kinds of wrong." "But it does not feel wrong," Princess Kira said. Before Jake could respond, alarms blared through the palace. Red lights flashed. Jake jumped to his feet. His training kicked in immediately. Commander Thex's voice came through the communication system. "Security breach. Intruders in the palace. All guards to defensive positions." Jake ran inside. He grabbed the energy weapon Queen Zalara had given him. Princess Kira followed him. "Stay here," Jake ordered. "This is my home," Princess Kira said stubbornly. "I will not hide." They ran through the hallways together. Guards rushed past them, heading for the lower levels. Jake found Commander Thex in the main corridor. "What is happening?" Jake asked. 3 assassins breached the outer wall," Thex said. "They are heading for the royal wing. For the princess. For that. They are heading for the princess. They are after me again," Princess Kira said quietly. "Not on my watch," Jake said. He checked his weapon. "Where are they?" The assassins were good. They moved through the palace like shadows. But they did not count on Jake. He used the tactics he had taught the guards. He thought like an attacker, predicting their moves. He found them in a side hallway, trying to reach the royal chambers. The fight was brutal and fast. The assassins had advanced weapons and armor, but Jake had been in combat his whole adult life. He used the palace itself as a weapon. He lured them into narrow spaces where their numbers meant nothing. He fought dirty, just like he had taught the guards. One assassin fell, then another. The third one was the hardest. He was clearly the leader. He fought with skill that matched Jake's own. They traded blows in the hallway, while Princess Kira watched. Finally, Jake saw an opening. He grabbed a decorative statue and threw it. The assassin dodged, exactly as Jake knew he would. It left him exposed for just a second. Jake's shot hit him in the chest. The assassin fell. Jake stood there, breathing hard. His old wounds ached, but he was alive. Princess Kira ran to him and threw her arms around him. "You saved me again," she whispered. 6 months had passed since Jake saved Princess Kira's life. The palace had become familiar to him now. He knew every hallway and garden. He knew the guards by name. He had a routine, but he still felt like a prisoner, even if the cage was made of gold. Queen Zalara summoned him to a private meeting. Not the throne room this time, but her personal study. It was a smaller room filled with books and star charts. The queen sat behind a desk made of dark wood. High Chancellor Voren stood beside her. As always, "Sit, Jake Morrison," the queen said. Her voice was less formal than usual. Jake sat. He had learned to read Valyrian expressions a bit better now. The queen looked troubled. "I have been watching you these past months," Queen Zalara said. "You have done well. My guards are better fighters now. They think differently. More importantly, my daughter has changed." "Changed how?" Jake asked carefully. "She questions things," the queen said. "She challenges our traditions. She speaks of choice and freedom. These are human ideas. Your ideas." Chancellor Voren spoke up. "The princess has become difficult. She refuses the marriage arrangement we made with the Keltar system. She says she will choose her own partner. This is unacceptable." Jake felt a mix of pride and worry. Princess Kira had been growing more confident, but challenging her mother was dangerous. "Is that a problem?" Jake asked. "Yes and no," Queen Zalara said. "Our empire is dying, Jake. The old ways are not working anymore. We need new thinking. But change is hard for my people. They fear it. What does this have to do with me?" Queen Zalara stood and walked to the window. "I have a proposition for you. I want you to stay permanently. Not as a prisoner, but as an official advisor and protector to my daughter." Jake's heart raced. "You mean I can leave now?" "The life debt was satisfied months ago," the queen said calmly. "When you fought those assassins and saved Kira again, you more than repaid any debt. I have been keeping you here through legal technicalities, but I cannot force you to stay anymore." Jake stood up, angry. "You lied to me? All this time? I could have left?" "Sit down," Queen Zalara commanded. Her voice had power in it. Jake sat, but his anger remained. "I am not proud of it," the queen continued. "But I had my reasons. Watch." She pressed a button. A holographic display appeared showing news footage from across the empire. Protests. Riots. Planets threatening to break away. The Valyrian Empire was falling apart. "We need change," Queen Zalara said. "We need new ideas. My daughter will rule one day. She needs someone beside her who thinks differently. Someone who can help her lead our people into a new era." "You want me to stay and help her rule?" Jake asked in disbelief. "More than that," the queen said. She looked directly at him. "I want you bonded to her. In our culture, a bond is a permanent connection. You would be her partner in all things. Not quite marriage, but similar. You would share power and responsibility." Jake could not believe what he was hearing. "Why would you want that? I am just a human. You could bond her to some Valyrian noble." "Because you are human," Queen Zalara said. Your people adapt. You survive impossible situations. You bring fresh perspectives. The Empire needs that. My daughter needs that. Chancellor Vorin looked furious. This is madness, my queen. A human bonded to the heir? The nobles will never accept it. The nobles do not have a choice, Queen Zalara said coldly. I am still the queen. Jake's mind was spinning. Does Kira know about this? No, the queen said. But I believe she has feelings for you. I have seen how she looks at you, how she smiles when you are near. My daughter has never been happy before. You make her happy. Jake thought about Princess Kira, about their talks on the balcony, about how she laughed at his stories about Earth, about how safe she felt around him. He had feelings for her too. He had been trying to ignore them, but they were real. What if I say no? Jake asked. What if I just want to go home? Jake sighed. Queen Zalara was quiet for a moment. Then you are free to go. I will not stop you. But I think you will regret it. You have a purpose here, Jake. On Earth, you are just one contractor among millions. Here, you can shape the future of an entire empire. I need time to think, Jake said. You have 3 days, the Queen said. There is a diplomatic ship leaving for Earth then. If you want to leave, you can be on it. Jake left the study in a daze. He went straight to the gardens, where he knew Princess Kira would be. She was reading under a tree, one of the human books he had recommended. She looked up and smiled when she saw him. Jake, I was hoping to see you. This book is fascinating. The characters make such strange choices, but I understand them somehow. Grounding, Jake sat down beside her. He did not know how to start this conversation. What is wrong? Princess Kira asked. You look upset. Your mother offered me a choice, Jake said. I can leave. Go back to Earth. The life debt is satisfied. Princess Kira's face went pale. Oh, or I can stay, permanently, as your bonded partner, to help you rule one day. Princess Kira set her book down carefully. Her hands were shaking. What did you say? I have not answered yet, Jake said. I wanted to talk to you first. Do you want me to stay? Princess Kira looked away. That is not fair to ask me. You have a life on Earth. Friends. Family. A home. I cannot ask you to give that up. That is not what I asked, Jake said gently. I asked if you want me to stay. Princess Kira's eyes filled with tears. Yes. I want you to stay more than anything. These months with you have been the best of my life. When I am with you, I feel like myself. Not the princess, not the heir, just Kira. I feel the same way, Jake admitted. But I will not ask you to stay, Princess Kira said firmly. You deserve freedom. You deserve to choose your own path. That is what you taught me. Everyone deserves choice. End quote. Jake spent the next 2 days thinking. Lieutenant Amy Harris came to see him. She had heard about the offer. Are you seriously considering staying? Amy asked. I know, Jake said. You have a life on Earth. Your apartment, your friends, your freedom. I know. Amy looked at him closely. You are in love with her. The princess. Jake did not answer. But his silence was answer enough. Oh, Jake, Amy said softly. This is complicated. I know, Jake said again. What are you going to do? I do not know yet. On the 3rd day, Jake went to find Princess Kira. He had made his decision. He found her on his balcony, staring at the city below. She turned when she heard him approach. The ship leaves in 2 hours, she said quietly. Have you decided? Yes, Jake said. He took a deep breath. I am going to leave. Princess Kira's face showed pain, but she nodded. I understand. It is the right choice. You should be free. I am not finished, Jake said. I am going to leave, go to the ship, and tell them I am not coming back to Earth. Then I am going to come back here and accept your mother's offer. Princess Kira stared at him. What? I need to make the choice myself, Jake explained. Not because your mother is forcing me. Not because of some life debt. But because I choose to stay. Because I want to be here. With you, Jake. You do not have to do this for me. I am not doing it just for you, Jake said. I am doing it for me too. You were right. I have a purpose here. I can make a difference. And yes, I am in love with you. So, I am staying. Princess Kira threw her arms around him. She was crying and laughing at the same time. Are you sure? Are you sure? I am sure, Jake said. He held her close. Some cages become homes when you find the right person. The announcement of Jake's decision shocked the Empire. A human bonded to the heir to the throne. It was unprecedented. The nobles were furious. Half of them sent angry messages to Queen Zalara. The other half simply refused to acknowledge it. High Chancellor Vorin was the most opposed. He spoke against it in every council meeting. This is a mistake that will destroy us, he told the queen. The people will never accept a human as consort to their future ruler. The people will accept what I tell them to accept. Queen Zalara said coldly. And you will support this decision, Chancellor, or I will find someone who will. Vorin bowed his head, but Jake saw the anger in his eyes. The Chancellor was dangerous. Jake knew that. But he was too focused on the upcoming bonding ceremony to worry much about it. The ceremony was scheduled for the end of the week. It would be a grand state event, with thousands of attendees. Representatives from all 12 systems would be there. Jake was nervous. He had faced combat without fear. But the idea of standing in front of thousands of aliens terrified him. Princess Kira helped him practice the ceremony rituals. They were complicated. Jake had to memorize words in ancient Valyrian. He had to perform specific movements at exact times. If he messed up, it would be seen as a bad omen. You will do fine, Princess Kira assured him. Just follow my lead. Easy for you to say, Jake muttered. You have done royal ceremonies your whole life. Princess Kira laughed. True. But I have never done this one. I am nervous too. Really? Of course, she said. This is the most important day of my life. I am bonding with someone I actually care about. Most royals do not get that choice. The night before the ceremony, Jake could not sleep. He stood on his balcony, looking at the stars. He was really doing this. Tying his life to an alien princess. Committing to a future in a place that was not his home. A sound made him turn. Princess Kira stood in the doorway. I could not sleep either, she said. Nervous? Jake asked. Terrified, she admitted. She came to stand beside him. Jake, are you absolutely sure about this? Once we are bonded, there is no going back. You will be connected to me forever. I am sure, Jake said. He took her hand. Her silver skin was cool against his. I have never been more sure of anything. Even if it means never going home. You are my home now, Jake said simply. Princess Kira leaned against him. They stood there, in silence, watching the alien stars together. The ceremony day arrived. Jake wore formal clothes that the royal tailors had made for him. They were a mix of Earth and Valyrian styles. Black suit jacket with silver embroidery. It looked good, he had to admit. The ceremony was to take place in the grand hall of the palace. Jake walked through the corridors with an escort of guards. His heart pounded. He could hear the crowd already, thousands of voices echoing through the vast space. Commander Thex walked beside him. The big warrior had become something like a friend over the months. Nervous? Little human? Thex asked, with a grin. Extremely, Jake admitted. Good, Thex said. If you were not nervous, I would worry. This is a big moment. They reached the entrance to the grand hall. Jake could see inside through the doorway. The room was enormous. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. Thousands of Valyrians filled the seats, all dressed in their finest clothes. At the far end was a raised platform where the ceremony would happen. Queen Zalara stood on the platform in her full royal regalia. She looked impressive and intimidating. High Chancellor Vorin stood to her right, his face unreadable. Music began to play. It was Jake's cue. He walked into the hall. Thousands of alien eyes watched him. He kept his back straight and his head high. He was a Marine once. He could handle this. He reached the platform and climbed the steps. Queen Zalara nodded to him. "Jake Morrison, you have chosen to bond with my daughter. Do you understand what this means?" "I do," Jake said clearly. His voice carried through the hall thanks to amplification tech. "You will share her burdens, her responsibilities, her future." "I understand," Jake said. "Then we proceed," Queen Zalara said. The doors at the other end of the hall opened. Princess Kira entered. She wore a gown of pure white that seemed to glow with its own light. Her silver skin caught the light from the chandeliers. She looked beautiful. Jake forgot to breathe for a moment. Princess Kira walked down the long aisle. She climbed the steps and stood beside Jake. She smiled at him, and some of his nervousness faded. Queen Zalara began the ancient ceremony. She spoke in Old Valyrian, words that had been used for thousands of years. Jake had memorized his responses. He spoke them clearly, trying not to mess up the pronunciation. Then came the bonding itself. Princess Kira held out her hand. Jake took it. Queen Zalara placed her hands over theirs. "Let the bond be formed," the queen said. Jake felt something strange. A warmth spread from his hand up his arm. It reached his chest, his heart, his mind. He gasped. He could feel Princess Kira. Not just physically. He could sense her emotions. Her nervousness. Her joy. Her love. Princess Kira's eyes went wide. She could feel him too. The bonding was almost complete when the attack came. An explosion rocked the far end of the hall. People screamed. Guards rushed forward. Through the smoke, Jake saw figures in black armor. At least 10 of them. They carried heavy weapons. "Assassins!" Commander Thex roared. The attackers opened fire. Energy blasts filled the air. Guards fell. The crowd panicked, running for the exits. Queen Zalara raised a shield around the platform. But it was meant to protect against small attacks. Not this kind of assault. Jake saw one attacker aiming directly at Princess Kira. Time slowed down, just like it had on the street that first day. Jake's enhanced reflexes kicked in. He grabbed Princess Kira and pulled her down. The blast hit the platform where she had been standing. Crystal shattered. The explosion threw Jake and Kira off the platform. They landed hard on the floor below. Jake's back screamed with pain. His old wounds had never fully healed, but he ignored it. He covered Princess Kira with his body as more blasts rained down around them. "Stay down," he ordered. The guards were fighting back now. Commander Thex was in the thick of it, taking down attackers with brutal efficiency. But there were too many assassins. They were pushing forward toward the royal platform. Jake realized what was happening. This was not just about killing Princess Kira. This was a coup. They wanted to kill the whole royal family. High Chancellor Vorin was the one behind it. Jake saw the Chancellor speaking into a communication device, calling for backup. This had been planned. "Vorin betrayed us," Jake told Princess Kira. She looked shocked. "The Chancellor? But he has served my mother for decades. He wants power," Jake said. "And he does not want a human in the royal family." One of the attackers broke through the guards. He ran straight at Jake and Princess Kira. Jake stood up, putting himself between the attacker and the princess. The attacker raised his weapon. Jake did not have a weapon. He did the only thing he could. He charged. The attacker fired, but Jake twisted. The blast grazed his shoulder, burning through cloth and skin. Jake slammed into the attacker, knocking him down. They fought hand to hand. Jake was injured and exhausted. But he was fighting for the woman he loved. He fought with everything he had. He used every dirty trick he knew. Finally, he got his hands on the attacker's weapon and fired. The attacker fell, but Jake was hurt. Bad. He could feel blood running down his side. The graze had been worse than he thought. He stumbled. Jake! Princess Kira caught him as he fell. More attackers were coming. Jake tried to stand, but his body would not obey. He had pushed too hard. His wounds were too severe. I am sorry, Jake whispered. I cannot protect you anymore. Yes, you can, Princess Kira said fiercely. She was crying. You are not allowed to die. I just found you. Jake's vision was fading. He could hear fighting all around. Queen Zilara was using some kind of powerful weapon. The attackers were falling back, but it was too late for him. Princess Kira held his face in her hands. There is something I can do, she said. A royal privilege. I can share my life force with you. It will save you, but it will complete the bond permanently. We will be connected forever, telepathically, emotionally. We will feel everything the other feels. And, do it, Jake managed to say. Princess Kira spoke words in ancient Valyrian. Her hands glowed with a soft light. The light flowed into Jake. He felt warmth spreading through his body. His wounds began to close. The pain faded. But more than that, he felt Princess Kira in his mind. Her thoughts, her feelings, her very essence. They were connected now, deeper than he ever imagined possible. Jake opened his eyes. Princess Kira was smiling through her tears. Jake sat up. He felt strong, better than he had in months. The bond had healed him completely. He stood and pulled Princess Kira to her feet. The fighting was over. Queen Zilara's guards had defeated the attackers. High Chancellor Vorin lay on the ground in restraints. The queen stood over him, her face a mask of fury. You betrayed me, Queen Zilara said to Vorin. After everything. You tried to kill my daughter. You tried to kill me. You were destroying the empire, Vorin spat. Allowing a human to bond with the air. It is an abomination. No, Queen Zilara said coldly. You are the abomination. Guards, take him away. He will be executed for treason. In the days that followed, the empire slowly recovered from the shock. The assassination attempt had failed. The coup had been stopped. Jake and Princess Kira's bond was complete. There was no undoing it now. Queen Zilara made it official. Jake was named first human ambassador to the Valyrian royal court. He would stand beside Princess Kira when she eventually ruled. Together, they would lead the empire into a new era. Lieutenant Amy Harris came to say goodbye. Earth had decided to send a permanent diplomatic team to Valyria Prime. The alliance was secured. Are you happy? Amy asked Jake. Jake thought about it. He looked at Princess Kira, who was talking with some nobles across the room. He could feel her through their bond. Her contentment. Her love. Yeah, Jake said. I really am. Then I am happy for you, Amy said. She hugged him. Take care of yourself, Morrison. You too, Harris. That night, Jake and Princess Kira stood on their balcony. Their balcony. Now. They would share everything from now on. Do you regret it? Princess Kira asked. Giving up Earth? Your old life? Not even a little bit, Jake said honestly. Through their bond, she knew he was telling the truth. I found something here I never had on Earth. Purpose. Love. A future worth fighting for. The path ahead will not be easy, Princess Kira warned. We will have to change an entire empire. Make people accept new ways of thinking. It could take decades. Good thing humans are stubborn, Jake said with a grin. Princess Kira laughed. She leaned against him, and they looked out at the alien city lights together. Jake Morrison had come to this planet as a contractor. He had expected to do a simple job and leave. Instead, he had saved a princess. He had been trapped by a queen, and somehow, in the process, he had found exactly where he was meant to be. Sometimes the best cages were the ones you chose for yourself, and sometimes what looked like a prison turned out to be home.